Dan was born to Jacob through Bilhah, Rachel's servant. Though he was the sixth son, he became the fifth tribe to take its place among Israel. Dan's name means to judge, not to condemn people, but to protect what God had established. In Scripture, this meant guarding right worship, upholding justice, and helping the community stay aligned with God when they started doing things their own way. Dan was meant to recognize when something foreign entered the camp, false worship, moral drift, spiritual compromise, and help remove it. They were designed to be spiritual gatekeepers. This was a time when tribal obedience, faith, and endurance were tested, when following God required patience, courage, and trust, even under pressure. Dan was given land by God, but they struggled to fully take it because they had to fight for it longer than expected. They leaned on their own weariness, instead of asking God for his guidance and strength. Instead of pressing into God's promise, Dan chose the easier path. They migrated north and settled in a quieter place, away from the land God had assigned them, and along the way set up their own center of worship, apart from where God had placed his presence. What began as pressure became compromise. Dan's story warns us that taking the easier path comes at a cost. When we choose comfort over courage, convenience over God's design, we risk drifting from his presence, weakening our spiritual strength, and losing the role he intended for us. God's calling doesn't disappear, but it can be quietly traded for survival and ease, and we miss the fullness of where he will take us and who we can become through him. Like Dan, we're tested in many ways, in crisis, in pressure, in quiet, in everyday choices, choosing our will over God's. When following God feels hard, do we stay where he placed us, or take the easier path and rely on our own strength? Dan reminds us, it's not enough to know God's truth. We're called to stand and watch over it, even when it costs us comfort. In a world full of compromise, injustice, and moral drift, Dan was called to guard God's boundaries. Today we are called to stand where he places us, faithful so his power can flow through our lives.